up, everybody? It is a Friday, Free Ball Friday here on the network, and it is April 16th, 2021. DJ Oakley here. The coach is here at G. Berwick Farms Studios at HQ. We've got Billy, we got Quinn, we got Canfield Baseball on the network a little bit later, and we welcome in back to the program on this beautiful Friday. Well, I guess it's beautiful, depending on which way you look at it. It is Mr. Eric Bailey. Gentlemen, how are we?
Doing great.
Feeling beautiful.
I like hearing that. And how are we doing out in Canfield?
Hi.
Hi.
Awesome.
Guys are super hanging out.
Good.
Richie's poster.
Always.
Love it. All right. It is not exactly you guys, you're going to have to mute when you're not talking. Not exactly the creme de la creme of national days today. Sorry, Billy, I didn't mean to tell you what to do, but we can't hear whenever we're talking and your speakers are on.
I also hear it, so it's there.
National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day. None of us did that today. Maybe Quinn, unless Billy sleeps in the whatever that is, the cage jacket, which I don't think he does.
I wouldn't be shocked, honestly.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I saw him do it in Alabama. He just fell asleep, though. It wasn't like he didn't fall asleep for the night. He
Mason jars of Bud Light, get you, bud.
It will get you. It will get you. And when Billy asked specifically for Mason jars of Bud Light at the bar, and he's like every 5 minutes, he's, hey, excuse me, ma'am, madam, right here, y'all, right here.
If it's half empty, that means it's empty.
Absolutely.
So you're a glass half empty guy.
Only when it comes to my drinks.
Respect. All right, so here's the question. Wear your pajamas to work day. Would you / could you ever wear your pajamas to work? My answer is no. Could not. And I'll leave it there. Matt, how about you?
Yeah, I guess I probably could. Usually just rocking a pair of gym shorts and a wife beater or something like that. So
sure, come on in.
Fairly safe. I'll just come on and some trailer trash.
You strike me as a guy that would wear like the onesie.
If it comes in plaid.
No, like the bunny, like the kid from the Christmas
like
Story.
Ralphie in the Christmas Story.
Yeah, but it's got the butt flap. Like I'm picturing the butt flap on the back because you
gotta have the butt flap.
You get business in the middle of the night.
Well, and air conditioning.
Well, that too. The reverse air conditioner. Billy, could you ever wear your pajamas to work, or could you, or would you?
Probably. Sweatpants and a T-shirt. I could probably do that all day, every day at Max Baseball. They all say Max Baseball Academy on them anyway, so sure, why not?
So they're not really pajamas; they're just sweatpants.
Yeah.
I can get behind that. Quinn, how about you?
No. He's uppity, man.
Quinn's butt naked sleeper. Guaranteed.
Ass naked all day. No shame. Don't care. I don't care. It's convenience.
There ain't no sharing a bed with this guy.
That's why I do it. I can't share a bed. I'm always guaranteed a bed.
We'll take the 2 doubles, please.
Yes. Quinn gets the caught.
Quinn, you're on the floor.
Quinn gets the call it in caught.
Oh. He's going to be on the floor getting rug burn.
He looks like Mowgli from the Jungle Book when he wakes up in the morning. EB, how about you? Are you a pajamas to work guy?
I mean, I practically do already because it's either gym shorts or sweatpants and a hoodie or a T-shirt, and it's kind of what I wear to work every day anyway, so.
Do we ever grow out of that? Like, I'm a gym shorts guy. It depends on how hot I lose the shirt, the cutoff usually. But is it a scenario where like the girls right now are in pajamas, all the little kids are like in pajamas? When did we get to the gym shorts stage? I don't even remember it.
Dude, I don't remember ever having the last time I remember having like pajamas. Maybe in like middle school, like having pajama pants, which are absolutely comfortable, but. Dude, it's just gym shorts are more convenient. They're easier. Like that, they're multi-useful.
What's more convenient than being ass naked?
I can think of about 7 things right off the top of my head.
I'm in my house. I'm not leaving.
What if somebody comes in to like rob you? Hey, jeez!
Who's going to rob a naked guy?
What if there's a fire?
What if the guy just says,
I don't care. My neighbor's Richie. It don't matter.
"Oh,
Richie
Richie,
ain't trying to
just
see
It might matter to Richie, man.
does
There's nothing
Richie
wrong
ask
with
you if the pool's cold?"
It's always cold.
There was significant shrinkage.
He was from it was this big.
All right.
I will say, like pajamas. It's probably been a while since I've gotten some pajamas or had someone, but we used to get them as a family, like when we were growing up, every Christmas Eve.
I was
And
gonna
a
nail
movie.
it.
Every Christmas Eve, and then a movie, and then we would be knocked out. We'd be zonked out. I'm pretty sure that's a tradition for many, but at least for sure it was for me.
But when did you make that transition from like pajamas to gym shorts? Was it like 10 years old, 12 years old? I don't remember it. It just happened.
No, I want to say it was like because it was just tradition. You kept that like at least for that holiday. But just overall, I don't know. Maybe like because we did like some stupid Spirit Week stuff where they would have pajamas and it was still. And when we were in school, it was so cool. And a lot of people. Well, I went to Newton Falls. A lot of people wore pajamas to school every day. So. That was a real thing. That happened.
It's tough to put jeans on. All right, let's get to. Well, we got some comments here. We got a comment. Bill still wears footy pajamas.
Do you call him Bill?
Not true. That Maury. That was a lie.
Does she call you Bill?
Only psychopaths wear socks to bed.
I
See,
do
that's
not
not
wear
true.
socks to bed.
Yeah,
That's
it
not
is.
true.
That's true.
Yes, it is.
It's got to be like so cold, like your heater in the house broke. That's the only exception to that rule.
Even then, no.
And even then, it's still weird.
Dude,
You're probably a serial killer if you wear socks to bed.
stop it. It's
Not
not all the
wrong,
time,
you
but
are.
like last night, because I went to, and we're going to talk about the recap. I went to the South Range Salem game where it snowed, right? I could not feel my feet until 3 a.m. this morning. And I had socks with a second pair of socks with like trying to get slippers in there underneath. Like it was so cold. My feet were so cold. Bad circulation. That's what happens, right? So they're not psychopaths. Let's not judge people that wear. How about people that wear gloves inside a press box? How do we feel about those people?
Those people are smart because they're prepared for when it's cold outside. You have gloves on.
They're prepared for if you're going to kill somebody, you don't put fingerprints out there.
Well, you would get latex then.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, you don't
Don't
have
make
any
latex gloves anymore.
Yeah, it's the same type
Nah,
of
you wear leather gloves. You still wear leather gloves.
Yeah, but there's like DNA.
OJ wore a
Like-
leather glove.
Me like touching my face and sweat, and there's DNA on. You get the latex or the fake latex gloves. There's nothing on those.
What if you touch your face?
Trust me, I know.
Big
I want to
bad.
get
What, Matt?
Billy a pair of the O.J. Simpson isotoners.
It doesn't fit.
So let's get to the games yesterday. Obviously, the game that I had, I never even got to go get started on the broadcast because it rained all the way there until I got there. Then it stopped, and then 15, 20 minutes into the game started raining again. Then it sleeted, then it hailed, then it snowed, and it was a no-go for the game. But South Range fell behind 5-1 on the scoreboard. Weren't able to finish that game against Salem, and kind of a bummer for Salem because now they're gonna what are they calling it? A postponement, and they're gonna make it up next Saturday and pick it up where they left off. Kind of an interesting topic, guys, because to finish 2 innings there, right? You got to finish 2 innings to, well, not really. You just got to finish. I think there's 1 out, so you got to get 5 outs.
What inning was it?
The 5th.
Oh, so they didn't complete the fifth. That's why. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting because now they're going to have to burn more pitching and then pick up a brand new game later. Do you like that rule? I mean, really it matters, but it doesn't. It's not a in-conference game. Do you like that they're going to pick this up and finish it, or would you rather, from a coach's perspective, just go, you know what, it's a wash, just let it ride?
So I would say I got like two careers, right? Like pre-Weimer, post-Weimer. Pre-Weimer me would say, no, I'm not playing this game. It's over. It's done with. Let's just move on. But Weimer really opened my eyes to like, you can only get 27 games, right? That's it. So you got to play your games. You owe it to your kids to play every game possible. Some of these schools out here that play like 15, 16 games, I feel bad for them because you get 27 games on the docket. Now, there's all kinds of variables in that, but as a coach, you should do everything you can. It's the only sport that you get to play more, well, basketball as well, but you should play as many games as possible if it is indeed possible.
We got some breaking news. Browns just released Sheldon Richardson. So that's probably a bummer for Browns fans.
A little bit surprising.
Yeah, but I think it's a restructured thing, isn't it? Aren't they trying to restructure him?
I don't know. I'm not a Browns fan.
I know they should.
Yeah, I don't like the move if it's an outright release and goodbye.
I know they should restructure. You just guarantee fun.
I mean, what if you're Richardson, you just go, hey, I'm going to go take a look around the league and see what we got here?
Yeah, I'll end up at Tampa Bay because that's the NBA now playing in the NFL.
Oh, okay. You just got Jadeveon Clowney for pennies on the dollar, and you're going to talk about Tampa Bay like that.
We didn't just win the Super Bowl.
We also didn't win the Super Bowl, Kevin Durant.
According to Adam,
what is that noise?
There's a Bethesda virus going on.
There is they're playing the Cubs game here on the speakers out here. So
Okay.
if you're hearing like a mumble, that's what that is.
Harry Carey?
Who the hell wants to listen to
Yep.
Cubs?
Nobody
Why
likes
the
the Cubs. Because Sabu's out here and he's a weirdo. I love him, but he's a weirdo. One of my favorites of all time. But he's over here. It's his phone. He's hooked up to the Cubs,
Just
and
go unplug him.
I'm thinking about it.
Go unplug him and plow.
Go, just put me on the mic.
Power hour.
Cubs stink. Click.
Put on some Teletubbies.
Just put on the power hour.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That is a great idea, actually. So let's get back to that. I mean, Quinn, from that standpoint, I know you're not a baseball guy, but let's say that the roof caved in 3/4 through your basketball game and you're down by 7. Do you want to finish that basketball game if it's a game that doesn't really matter?
If it doesn't matter, no. It's pointless.
Yeah, I mean, like
Every game matters, though.
Not necessarily.
Yes.
No, there's certain games that don't matter. If it's not a conference game,
Like,
if
which
it does
games
not
don't
have
matter?
seeding,
Which games don't matter?
I can name one game that didn't matter that we played anyway.
Come on.
No, I'm not going there. I think we all know where I could go with that, though. Games like that, no, it don't
I
matter.
tried.
If it doesn't matter, then no, don't finish it. It's pointless.
EB, do you like I know you bounced out for a little bit. Do you like the fact that 5 or 4 1/3 innings through the South Range Salem game, 5-1 game? They're going to try to make this up on a Saturday, a couple Saturdays from now, and maybe burn through some more pitching.
I guess my question is, like, did they have a second game scheduled, or is this just a one and done?
Yeah, they have a second game scheduled. They're just not back to backs. They're like a week and a half apart.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. I would probably do it and just kind of throw in someone who I want to see maybe needs that chance or that opportunity, because it's non-league, correct?
Correct.
So there's really little weight to it. So now you're just kind of, I'd put someone in there who, might be on that cusp. Like maybe they're a JV player trying to get some varsity time, or you don't know. So to me, I would be like, all right, here the stage is set. Here you go see what you have and see what you can do with it. That way, I wouldn't want to do it to use up my aces. Like if that was the case and I was a coach in baseball and I'm not too baseball savvy, but I wouldn't want to use up innings for my aces for that. But, I would look at it as almost, I don't want to say a scrimmage, but hey, I have some younger guys or some people that need to trying to get some experience or they want that opportunity. That's where I'd throw it in at.
So Mike DeBar and Jimmy Hannock are two great coaches, but my concern, if I were in their shoes, is this: is you're playing a game right now. It was the 15th of April yesterday. By the time you play this game, you're looking at late April, right, next Saturday, and the tournaments are right around the corner. So you're going to finish this game, and then you're going to go into another game. So you're looking at 9 innings of baseball probably that day. And let's say that you finish what you started here, you go through, whoever was pitching finishes, and then, you go into, and let's say your guy gets shelled first inning of the new game, right? And you got to burn through your bullpen. You're in trouble, right? You're in trouble for that next whole week. And you're obviously not going to burn your aces or any of your starting rotation if you can help it. But you still want to win the ball game, right? You still want to, you want to have some momentum going into the playoffs. So playoffs, it's one of those. For me,
do they play each other again at some point in the season?
Just twice.
So I wonder why if it's only 2 innings, 2.5, whatever. Why don't they just play usually what you do, like in Summer Bowl, this is what we do. We play each other again. You start that game the next time they play each other, and you start in the 5th inning, complete that. Couple-minute break, and then you go right back out there and start the next game. I wonder why you're waiting a whole day. Why don't you just put it into the same?
No. You finish. You finish the 5th, right? But you still got the 6th and 7th inning to complete as well.
Right.
But then you're going to go a couple minutes, and then you're going to go into another game.
Right.
So my question is, okay, so you have this scenario. So let me add on a Lego to this building block here. You got that scenario in South Range. In Boardman, Columbiana and Boardman played yesterday, and it got postponed. Boardman was up 16-0. Do you just let that game go? Like call it?
What inning was it?
I think it was the 4th.
It's more than half completed.
You have to complete 5.
Yeah, you need one more inning.
So can the coaches not agree, though? And I don't know if it works like this in baseball or not. Can they go like Columbiana's the one that's down? Can their coach just look at this and be like, "Look,
we'll take the L.
We'll take the L." Obviously, is there an opportunity to come back? There's always a chance. You're saying
I would say this scenario has happened this year already in the 3rd inning loss.
But the likelihood of it happening is slim to none. Just hey, let's take the L, move on to the next game.
Well, this is where it's been interesting for me because I got to see, obviously, more PA baseball than anybody this year because we have Mohawk. They have a rule that it's 15 after 3, and it's over. So do you think that's a rule that, especially in high school, that they should adopt? Because if we're really about saving the arms, what are you going to do down 15? Billy, you've been an advocate for this since the jump. What do you think about this rule?
Yeah, I'm used to it. So we play a lot of tournaments that we play in. Is a 15 runs after 3 innings. I wouldn't necessarily say it saves arms. If on the winning side you do, but the losing side most times it doesn't. But it's just a rule, 10 after 5 has kind of been the staple for so long. I'm used to it. It is what it is. It's one of those like, hey, well, this is the rule. But it just seems weird because if the rule is 5 innings has to be a completed game, and then you start going into that 15 runs in the 4th, now you're changing multiple rules. I'm cool with it, but you're going to have to change multiple rules for that. Because if rain comes and you can't have – here's my issue. If the rain comes in the 4th inning and the game's canceled and it's 14-0, well, then what do you do in that scenario? Because as the way it is structured right now, it's – 5 innings. You got to come back and play it in. So if you change that rule and it is 15 runs in the 3rd or whatever 4th inning, then do you move the game? A completed game is 4 innings. What do you do there? So now you're changing a couple different rules. I'm usually not a fan of changing multiple rules for one incident or maybe 2 or 3 or a small percentage because this is a small percentage where there's 15 runs scored in 3 innings. It doesn't happen every day. You know what I mean? So do you change the game or do you change the rules around just for a small fraction or a small percent? Usually I would say no, but I played in it before. A lot of tournaments do this to save time more than pitchers.
Well, we saw Ursuline the other night come back and almost clip the Salem Quakers, and they were down by 9.
9 runs.
So I mean,
Again, small percentage.
There's arguments.
It's small. It's small. On the other side of that, it's a small. And purists, they hate this. They hate the run rule game. And guys, I'm not even going to mention names, but I know a guy in particular that is like, you play the 7 innings. If it's 25-0, you play it out. You never know what happened. Okay, dude, we get it. Like, yeah, it's possible, but not realistic.
Well, let's put it in football terms. Not that Matt can't, kind of break down baseball, but let's say you're down 50 points on a Friday night, and there's a lightning strike over and over again for hours and hours and hours. You're down 50. Do you really want to bring your kids back the next day, or you just say, listen, you save the gas money, we'll save the embarrassment, you take the win, we'll take the loss, and we'll just wash our hands of it?
Well, and in football, we do have the opportunity for that.
Right.
That can be done.
Okay. And
I think that's now, if you're looking from an athletic department standpoint, they're probably like, look, the percentage is small, like Max said, but what's the likelihood of this? If you're down so much, whether it's, football, baseball, like, hey, look, we got to pay a bus driver, there's gas, there's fuel, it costs money to put on these events and everything. So if we can, kind of cut some corners and not nickel and dime ourselves for just to complete a game when you're down 16-0, look, just sorry, coach, take the L. It's life. It's not always fair, but take the L. We have a budget we have to stay within as well.
Well, and just to throw another monkey wrench into this whole thing, you think about times like last year when Massillon brought in, or 2 years ago when Massillon brought in the team from Maryland to play against them. Now you're talking about charter buses and hotels, and I know Poland and I know Marlington have brought in schools from Canada that they've played. So, travel has to be a big consideration at some point for some of it.
Yeah, I mean, in this scenario, we're talking about South Range and Salem, so you're talking about 15 minutes on a bus ride. But that being said, EB, you brought up a great point. I didn't even think about it. You got to pay a bus driver to do that, drive you back or whatnot. But South Range will now go to Salem to finish this game next Saturday, and then they will start an entire another game. Again, what happens if that game gets rained out now? And that's why I like just saying, okay, we're in the 5th, it's 5-1, you got us on this one. You know what I mean? And not that you need to throw in the towel or forfeit or anything like that, but at that point in the season, if this was April 5th, it would be a different story to me. As you move towards the tournament, your arms are everything, right? You don't want to overexpose your arms. And I think that even 2.5 innings, is a stretch at that point in the season. The mental stretch, you've got to get up because you're down 4 right off the jump, and then all of a sudden you shut it down. And then what if you need to pitch in that next game? Are you available? Probably not.
No.
So
you get 125 pitches per day. That's the rule. So
not per game, per day.
Per day. That's what I said. Per day. Per
right?
day.
No, I'm saying I was asking. Sorry.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, you get 125 a day. So you in a doubleheader situation, that would be considered a doubleheader. You can theoretically go out there and throw the 5th, 6th, and 7th, and then keep going right into the 1, 2, 3, and however many pitches till you run out.
So
you can even come out and then come back in the 7th. So like if you throw 5, 6, 7, and then 1, 2, 3 all the way to the 7, you can come back in and pitch again.
So basically, if you're South Range or Salem right now, you are praying for sunshine and only sunshine next week, so you can get these games in, right? All the games you need to, so you're not moving games all over the place. Because is there still a pitch count where you can't pitch the next day? What is that, 40?
Yes, it's 31. So you throw 31, it's a day off.
Okay, so let's say they're going to have probably a game on Thursday or Friday, right? So let's say you throw 40, 45 pitches that day. You're not pitching the next day.
Right. I mean, I don't have I've been in spots where we've been lucky enough to have again, you play at Ysn Park, you're blessed because you're going to get a lot of games in compared to others. So I'm kind of in a weird spot talking about this, but there's been situations where we played 8 games in 7 days. Okay. Yep. Nobody felt sorry for us. It was you bring up from the JV, you throw a pitcher that's not pitching. You're playing St. Ignatius or St. Ed's or Canton Columbus Bishop Watterson, who's got Urban Meyer's kid, and you throw somebody out there that hey, this isn't going to be a good day, but you're playing games. So the objective should be, or if it is, to play games. You're going to run into these situations, and hopefully you're a good coach and you coach them up and you get them ready to go out there, at least throw strikes, and you try to you gotta understand you gotta have to hit the ball. So if you're able to do that, you'll be in games. I mean, it's an unfortunate thing, but it is what it is. I mean, there's no way around it. The idea of canceling games, some coaches are about that life. They're like, we don't have pitchers, we're just cancel games, especially if it's non-league. And that's kind of what I talked about earlier. Is if you have an opportunity to play 27 games, it has to be your obligation to go out there and play 27 games to, at least in my mind, not cheat your kids of playing games. Playing games is important, especially coming off a year where we didn't have a season. So that's where I'm like, hey, now, come on.
I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. I just think it's weird, especially this is that limbo time of year where when things get canceled mid-game, it gets pretty dicey. It gets pretty dicey because you got to make some tough decisions one way or the other.
Absolutely.
Most of our don't play Sundays, right? For the most part, they stay away from scheduling games on Sundays
if they
I
can.
would say almost everybody outside of tournaments.
Yeah.
I don't know any league games that are played on Sundays. It would be a non-conference tournament style that you were to play.
Wouldn't the good news in this entire situation be that the next time they play each other falls on a Saturday? So even if you go over that 31, you've got that built-in day of rest.
Yeah, but it's getting there is the issue.
Right.
Like Saturday games, you're just essentially what you're doing is you're throwing kind of your reserve pitchers, right? Unless somebody needs to throw a bullpen or somebody needs some time, and you're trying to get pitches in. But correct me if I'm wrong, Billy. That's kind of where you're just flailing and you're saying, okay, can you throw? Can you throw? Can you throw? Who do we have available? And those guys just kind of divvy it up because you get that day of rest, and then you start your week over on Monday and Tuesday, which now have become the back-to-backs and league games, which is very difficult. I would much rather see the league games be on a Thursday and Friday. You know what I mean?
A lot of times it is. So if you look at the NVAC plays Monday, Tuesday league games. They play back to back, and then they'll play again Thursday, Friday back to back. So say, for example, let's say Champion plays Newton Falls. They'll play Monday, Tuesday, home and away, and then they'll go to Liberty and play home and away there. And then you can find non-conference games in between. And Saturday's usually a day of rain, and so it's also Wednesday.
Yeah, your Wednesdays and Saturdays are your makeup days.
Right.
So if you're Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, would you typically throw your one Monday, Thursday?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Monday, Friday.
Monday, Friday.
If you have 1, 2, 3, you know what I mean? Typically,
if you're playing 2 series, then you would probably go. You would. Most teams have a 3 or somebody they would use in a 3 scenario, and then you would start your game 2 on the other Monday. It would flip flop. So the number 2 pitcher would pitch Monday, and then on Tuesday would be the number 1.
Yeah.
So then theoretically, if you were Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and had a doubleheader Saturday, you could set up to be 1-2 Monday, Tuesday, 3-1, and then 2 bullpen on Saturday.
Right.
Okay.
But it's tough.
That's why it's important. When you get your schedule, and in spring, things change all the time. Rain interferes and all kinds of stuff happens. But what we would usually do, and Weimer and I, we would sit down before the season started, and we would just mark off games pitchers we're going to pitch, right? And we would always have 2 plus a closer or in case. Right. So you would go, these guys are paired together. These guys are paired together. These guys are paired together, and go down the order. Sometimes we would switch depending on, our number 1 would always be a starter, and the number 2 would also be a number starter. That 3 is like a flex position. So that pair of the 3 would flip flop starting roles. Right. So whatever game they would start, and we would go through the list and try to stay as close to that list as possible. At least it gives us an opportunity in case something like this happens where we go, okay, well, these guys are paired, so they're going to pitch this game, and then so on and so forth.
Makes sense.
We're going to go to break, but before we do, let's do a rundown for what we have on the network tonight. Unfortunately, we were going to have a softball game under the lights tonight, but it got canceled. You guys had, what was it, Western Reserve and Jackson Milton, one of the best rivalries there is out there that way, and I think the field just too soft to play on. So you guys transferred over to...
I think it might have been too cold. I think because there's a lot of schools have rules. If it's under 40 degrees, by start time, they don't play. So it might have been too cold and wet. It might have been a combination of the two.
Steve said the coach called him and said it was a little bit soft, just too soft to play tonight. So we will have that game. We will find a way to make that happen. They promised us it's going to be a night game under the lights. So you guys have first crack at it. If you still want it, it's yours. But we're going to find that game and we're going to make it happen. So Boardman and Champion, that game going to be getting underway here in 4:45. So about a little over an hour from now. Anthony will have that game for us. I think that's going to be a dandy. I think Champion, everybody knows what they're all about. Boardman on their way up, and Anthony's pretty psyched up about that one. But we flip over to the baseball diamond, Canfield versus Champion. You guys have a nice little ball game going on. Champion's no slouch, and Canfield obviously number 2 in the state still, I believe. The new rankings have not come out yet, so I'd be interested to see if they're able to climb up to the top, the catbird seat, so to speak. Be a good spot for them, but I think they like being number 2. I like they like that chip on their shoulder. So have fun doing that one. That's a game that I was excited to call until this morning when duty calls, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. Heartland versus Lisbon. Mark Franken will have that live from. Yes, I did say Dandy. Absolutely.
Did you just say duty?
I said duty earlier. Heartland and Lisbon, Mark Franken will have that call. That's going to be from Next Level here just outside of East Palestine on Route 14. Cancellations because of COVID. The Crestview McDonald game, Edison East Palestine game has been canceled. Jamie will have Hubbard versus Harding, so the Trumbull County matchup. Jamie will have that one. East Liverpool versus Beaver Local. They call it the game, and Scotty D is going to have that one covered from pillar to post. From Beaver Local here. That game starts at 5 as well. And then we got a couple night games. Now a couple under the bright lights of Eastwood Field. It's going to be Cheney, it's going to be East, and Paul Munson will have that game covered for you. Paul coming out of retirement to make sure that they've got some opportunity to cover what used to be one of the best rivalries all around. I think it's going to be a good game. Anytime these two teams play, you can throw the records out the window, but East has been playing some really good baseball lately, and they're going to play some emotional baseball as our thoughts and prayers are around the East baseball program. One of their players lost a family member. So, again, thoughts and prayers with them, and they're going to be playing some inspired baseball, I think, tonight. So, one to watch. And then, ladies and gentlemen, the main event of the evening, as Columbiana, the Clippers, will travel to PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to take on Ringgold. Matt, you and I will have that game. I am over the moon excited. It's a dream come true, and we're going to put on our best show for these kids because a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the Clippers to take part in a game that is the best baseball park in all of the country. So excited to have that and blessed for the opportunity. So looking forward to that experience and looking forward to bring it to everybody here on YSN. Before we go, want to certainly go to break, not go for the show. Want to bring everybody's attention to go to bluewinks.com/YSN and use code YSNLive10 for your very own pair of these Blue Wings glasses. You can get them checked out, whether they're prescription, whether they're just readers, whether you just want them to protect your eyes. It's like we say all the time, you wouldn't go on the football field without a helmet. Why would you watch our shows and watch YSN or live your daily life and get your eyes beat up without a pair of these Blue Wings glasses? The best blue light blocking technology out there right now. Handcrafted, handmade for you. About 7 to 10 days you get them back. And they are awesome. Let me tell you, I've been able to sleep better. My headaches have gone away. All that stuff is right out the window. I feel like a new man when it comes to it. And, oh, by the way, they look pretty damn good, too. So head over to bluewinks.com/YSN and use code YSNLive10 for 10% off your entire purchase. So if you want to buy 20 pairs, everybody from your family to your friends, hand them out, that's fine. But use YSN Live 10 for 10% off your entire purchase. That's, again, bluewinks.com/YSN. We're going to take a break. Thanks, Paige. Appreciate you. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more YSN. And Quinn, stop messing with the thing when I'm trying to get to commercial because it pops up on mine too.
It's
You're doing it. You're
I'm
doing
not
it.
on Billy's.
Coach is doing it. Coach is doing the producing from the back.
I figured it out and thought I'd have a little fun.
You son of a biscuit. All right, we'll be back after this on the YSN Power Hour. Be right back.
High-res futurecast shows steady snow for the next few hours.
Still just downright cold.
It is bitter out there.
Several strong bands of lake effect snow.
Wind is kind of the big story today as well.
So if you need a more detailed winter forecast on WFMJ.com and the Storm Tracker 21 app.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
Baird Brothers remains your source for fine hardwood products. For the time being, we're open for customer pickup only on weekdays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturday from 9 a.m. till noon. Place your order online at bairdbrothers.com. Baird Brothers, for the place you love.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
The 4M Company, being an architect and construction manager for over 40 years, has had the opportunity to use many different electrical businesses for our projects. The depth, quality, and knowledge and attention to detail displayed by Dickey Electric makes them stand out above all the rest.
For state-of-the-art expertise and a timeless commitment to our customers, contact Joe Dickey Electric. We are everything electrical.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the YSN Power Hour. DJ Oakley with you, joined by the coach, Billy Mack, and somebody, for the love of God, get that microphone away from him, Quinn and EB. Are you going to do the PA broadcasting too? Are you going to pull the old Andrew trick?
No. That's not going to happen. Here's the trick.
Here's the trick. EB usually leads us with that one.
It's been no Betos for a while, man. Here's the trick.
That's a bummer.
We miss Betos.
I do miss Betos. I think everybody misses Betos.
Jeff misses Jeff. He's grinding his life away. He's working every day like a dog.
Well, you know what he's trying to do. He's trying to save all that money up so next St. Patty's Day he can really have a blowout. I'm not drinking a green beer anymore, guys. You guys know what color your pee is whenever you drink green beer? Green.
Who's concerned?
So yeah, there's all that stuff going on today on the network. Yeah, hard transition right there, right? That was the worst transition I've ever seen in my life. Well done by the broadcast guy. So my question is for you guys. This weather has been absolutely horrible. 80 degrees one day, 30 degrees the next day. Is it tough on these kids? Who's it tougher on? The kids, the parents, or the coaches from this standpoint? Or the fans, I guess, really, if you add them in. With this weather here in Northeast Ohio and trying to get spring baseball, spring sports in general. EB, you're smiling.
I don't know, man. I think it's been pretty good so far, with the exception of this week for getting games in. Like, we haven't had a lot of rain. Outside of this week, it's been fairly decent out. And I want to say naturally, it's probably tougher on the parents because they're the ones actually just sitting in it. Like, when you're a player, you don't think of it. Like, I remember football games, it would be cold out, but once you're in that mode or in the game, you're locked in, and with the adrenaline and everything else, you really don't think much about the elements. Probably sucks for the parents. They get old joints hurt. They don't move as quick. You're sitting on generally concrete or a chair and whatnot, so it's probably worse for them.
I respect that. I think that's a good take. Coach, what about you? I mean, this is football weather for you.
Oh, yeah, this is beautiful, but I'm actually going to go outside of the box. I think it's hardest on the announcers. I mean, I hear it in all of us right now. We got a little bit of that, scratch in the throat going on. And, I mean, the vocal cords are paycheck.
Get a little mental puff. Like, that's BS, man. Figure it out.
We all can't wear 14 layers like you, Billy, and gloves and, thermal underwear and, have the Milwaukee heated jacket out there. Not a sponsor yet.
You gotta be like the postman. No wind, rain, weather doesn't matter. You're out there doing games. No excuses.
He's got 14 layers of heat base gear from Under Armour on. Instead of one cold gear jacket, he's going heavy on the heat gear.
I feel bad.
See, there it is.
It's a Max Baseball heat gear.
Are they a sponsor yet, Matt?
They have been. They have been. They have been. No. They have been.
They have been. Are they still a sponsor? Are they paying bills?
They did pay bills.
We're gonna have to get a renewal out there.
Coach hasn't talked to me, so that's his fault, not mine.
I'm a week old. Give me.
You're slacking. That's all I'm saying. You're slacking. That's it.
You're getting an email tomorrow. Tonight.
You get an email tonight. He's got his laptop on the way here. On the way to Pittsburgh.
I love the excuse. I'm a week old. Come on, what kind of sales guy are you? Don't sit there. I'm a week old. Look, man. Don't promote yourself and say I'm blessed and I get to take on this opportunity and I'm doing this. I'm joining YSN. Now you're shit in the bed, man.
Get him.
Okay.
Nut up or shut up, buddy. Come on.
I'll sit here and take it. I got big shoulders. I can carry it.
I would lay off him a little bit, just a little bit.
Look, you got to ride with DJ. I don't care how pissed you get tonight.
No, if you knew what he was doing right now, the pot that he's stirring behind the scenes, it's a nice one, and it's good people. So I'm excited to see it. But Mac, it's time to penny up. So we can afford some of those. Send emails to his assistant, a.k.a. me.
Also true.
Done.
He handles all my finances, except for my personal account.
So it's not all your finances.
Well, it's, small print. Read the small print.
You got it. So Kate, we'll have to figure out if Kate wants to. I know it's gold or platinum that Billy Mack wants. So we'll make sure that it's platinum. Sounds good this year. I mean, it's been a good year at Mack's Baseball Academy.
Definitely platinum.
100% platinum. And you know what? I know a couple schools that are looking for major sponsors too on YSN. I do know. Mohawk doesn't have anybody yet. Cheney's been looking for some big ones. Get Cheney out there. I like it.
Yep.
That's got you taken care of.
Yep. I'll just draft it and send you the invoice.
I think that's a great idea.
Perfect.
He's breaking up again, apparently.
He's
breaking up. He's breaking up again. All right, let's check the chat box, which, by the way, Matt, we need to get that sponsored as well.
Yes. Yeah, so if you'd like to be the official Power Hour chat box sponsor, hit me up, msidel.ysn@gmail.com.
Okay,
that's crazy. You have a YSN email address? That's crazy.
Do you want one?
No, thank you.
Okay.
At the moment, until I get. Well, I decided I have a title. I am the vice president. I gotta ask Ben. Vice president of social gatherings at YSN. Everybody's getting a title. That's my title.
What are the duties for that?
Showing up.
Vice President of Social Gatherings?
Yes.
That sounds like a title.
It sounds like a what?
That sounds like a Betos title.
Sure.
Paige, we'll get you on there, man. Hit me up. We'll talk about it.
There's no reason that we can't have people sponsor this.
Listen, anybody that wants to pony up, we can do it.
Just put Paige's head. Just put Paige's head right on the chat box.
Right on the comments.
Page by page.
There we go. The page. It'll be the page.
By the way, Billy, no. By the way, just in case you were getting too excited about that VP of anything. I'm president of YSN Fan Club.
I believe that.
That I can get behind.
Yep, that's fairly accurate.
Everyday guy on the network, on Power Hour, sometimes on Ron's show, I think. I think I've seen him watching Ron's show on Facebook. So I can get behind that. I all in favor? Aye.
Opposed, same sign?
Oh, gosh.
Being none, motion carries.
Do you realize that brings me just absolute nightmares of
city council days?
Opposed, same sign. Speaking of sponsors, Matt, why don't you go ahead while we have a second here, and there's not a whole lot to talk about on Free Ball Friday, and explain your duties here at YSN.
Yeah, so duties. I've come on board, and basically I'm going to be responsible for going out and drumming up advertisers and maintaining the relationships that we have with all of the fantastic advertisers that we currently have. Just making sure everybody's happy and we can continue to provide top-notch coverage for all of our schools with the support of the great sponsors that we have,
including the ones at the bottom of the screen right now.
That's right.
iSynergy, WRS, Wealth Advisors, K-Squared Marketing, Myers Family Insurance, Clientele, and Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. So here's the other part that's really exciting about what Matt's bringing. He's bringing a different level and more advertising opportunities to everybody else. So things like our phone line, things like the chat box, things like presenting sponsor of the games, like literally the games across the board. So there's going to be a lot more stuff. You're going to probably sit there and go, okay, what is this sponsored by now? But that's how we make money. So if you want more stuff like you're seeing, like the Power Hour, you're going to get more opportunities to see it. We're looking, like we were talking about earlier, doing gas station reviews. We're still working on a couple of segments like Winging It, as well as a morning show and things of that nature, but it is all coming to a head, so we're excited. Uh-oh.
We're just going to keep adding.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
No,
I was going to bring something, but it's not this related.
Go ahead. Free Ball Friday, baby.
What do you guys think about? What do you think about all these guys, these athletes buying into ownership roles after they retire, or even jumping ship like Mahomes buying the Royals and LeBron? Now D Wade has a stake in the Utah Jazz. What do you think about all this stuff? Is this good for the game? Good for sports in general?
I don't think they should be able to buy teams while they're still playing. I think there's a conflict of interest there.
Like in their own sport, correct? Like LeBron bought stake in X.
Any sport, because I think there's a conflict of interest because LeBron plays in Los Angeles, but he owns a team in Boston. I mean, I'm not going to call foul here, but let's say that they meet in the NBA Finals. They won't. Boston versus LA, but I think that can raise some red flags.
Well, and I think the other
sport.
Yeah, even if it's a different sport. I mean, it's a major franchise. It's not like owning a brewery in Boston. It's the Boston Celtics. Or the Boston Red Sox. He's
a minority owner, right? I mean, he doesn't have the big chunk. He has a little piece of that. So I don't know what the piece of the pie is, but
why? And this goes. I think we talked about this a while ago. Why are you obsessed with? And I get it. Opportunity knocks, but like keep it on the lowdown, right? There's people out there that will go and buy the shares for you, and you can just keep it on your portfolio and not have to worry about it. Like LeBron wants this. Like I'm part owner of the Red. I mean, the day that he did it, he wore a Red Sox hat to the Coliseum.
Yeah.
Like it's not like he's trying to do this and like swipe the attention aside. He's trying to draw attention to himself. And I woke up and saw a commercial today, and I'm not going to blast on LeBron, but I saw a commercial today about LeBron saying that how rough he had his life and stuff, and he couldn't get food on the table, and And I was like, you bought your mom a Hummer when you were 17, dude.
Yeah, that lasted until he was in 6th grade was when he really first got on the map.
I get so confused with scenarios, and I know this is taken in a different direction, but I get so confused with scenarios with these athletes. They got this tough life, right? Or they have these awesome life, but they want to dwell on their past, and this is how tough. I get it. You can have a tough life and then hit success, but wait a minute. We're all from NEO. We know LeBron's story. He might have had it maybe a little bit tough because his dad wasn't around, and his mom did take care of a lot of stuff and worked a lot of jobs, but he went to Akron St. Vincent St. Mary. My guy was taken care of. He was taken care of.
Dad was busy playing for the Cavs.
Huh?
What?
Oh, I thought everybody knew that rumor.
I have no idea.
Please enlighten us.
I've always heard the rumor that Campy Russell's actually his dad.
And on to the next topic. LeBron reported $750 million investment in the Red Sox. Like, that's
a bunch of money.
That's more than Dogecoin right now. And Will says he Googled it, Billy. Michael Page saying he also has ownership in NASCAR. Braun is everywhere. He is. But wouldn't it be smart from that standpoint, like, if you're still playing, to just get an ownership group, own the ownership group, and let them go invest?
You're talking about kind of like a Magic Johnson scenario where he did his thing through that. That's what you're talking about? I mean, Magic was still in the forefront. I mean, I think that's where the glamour comes in is, like, if you're a Red Sox fan, it's pretty cool that LeBron is backing your team as the golf cart or tractor rolls by underneath me. So I think it's cool to a degree of, like, you put your name out there. Now there's excitement that this franchise is going to be popular or being taken advantage of his name in a popularity level.
It definitely makes sense from the team's perspective because you're right. Every kid wants to be involved with whatever LeBron's involved in. They're buying his shoes. They're buying Beats because he's got a minority share in Beats by Dre. So to put his name associated with your brand makes a ton of sense. Where I get concerned about it is technically you're under the brand name of the NBA. And so, are you sure that they're in love with the idea of you promoting other leagues during your season?
Well, I think that they're okay with you promoting other things, shoes and shirts and hats and all kinds of merchandise that their name isn't attached to the NBA. Like LeBron has stuff that he does apparel-wise that's not attached to the NBA.
You're right on that, but those are things that aren't necessarily drawing viewership away from the NBA. You could potentially, the NBA and baseball season overlap a little bit. The NBA and football season overlap a little bit. So if you're promoting these other teams and these other sports, you're potentially drawing fans and viewers. And viewers, we all know what happens when you lose viewers. Your TV revenues go down. You could potentially be costing your league money by promoting other leagues.
So let me ask you this. That's an interesting point. But from this standpoint, do you feel like if LeBron showed up, let's say he played on a Wednesday in Los Angeles, and on Friday they were playing the Celtics, and LeBron shows up in Fenway Park and is sitting, in front row seats at Fenway, drawing attention to himself, and he's supposed to be focused on the game at hand, right? His game, basketball for the Lakers. Do you feel there's a little bit of conflict of interest there? If you're a Lakers fan and they go out and they lose the next night, you're feeling a little bit, all right, man, let's get our priorities straight here. Your job is to try to win a championship for us with how much you're getting
what's
paid.
The difference? A lot of these guys go out and they go to nightclubs the night before, they go to dinner, they do all kinds of, what's the difference between the two?
Because there's not.
One is getting paid, the other one is spending money.
Yeah, I don't know. I
don't see any difference because they like the Cavs. So in 2016, when the Indians were on their streak, a lot of those Cavs were going to baseball games anyways.
But that's in their city.
Yeah, showing up and sitting in the suite.
It's different if he owns part of the Dodgers, right? If he goes to the Dodgers, like as a Los Angeles fan, not that they care about anything anyway, but if a Los Angeles fan, you go, wait a minute, whose side are you on, pal?
But if they're still playing in Boston, regardless, like they're like, hey, we have a game in Boston, we're going to be there for 3 or 4 days, and it just so happens the Red Sox are playing, and he shows up. Who cares? There's no difference. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I've never understood it. He is the Billy Mack of them, of all of them.
Like I actually don't have a problem with him buying into baseball. Like those are his own investments. If you don't like that, then you might as well hate that he owns a pizza shop and NASCAR and Liverpool over in Europe, this and that. But like, if I'm baseball, I probably like it because it's the America's pastime and it's a dying breed, and we need to figure out how to get these things back ramped up or whatever people say all the time. Well, here's the biggest name in sports.
What did Quinn just get? Food?
Probably. But here's the biggest name in sports. Why not let him infiltrate and bring his, people are going to follow him no matter what. We're still talking about him, and people are still going to tune in now, whether you love him or hate him, just to see.
Well, I think you're dead right here, Eric. You're talking about a sport that is trickling in the downward trajectory of viewerships, and people consider it boring, and they're trying to change the game, make it faster. You got Texas shootouts to try to make it more exciting, and then you bring a name like LeBron James to the scene.
Nobody wants LeBron James in baseball.
We're not saying he's playing baseball. We're just saying you bring his name and influence. What is the NBA doing because he's on that inner circle of what the NBA is doing. What is the NBA doing that brings in viewership, sponsors? How are they doing things that Major League Baseball can do to maybe make that better? The NBA does the best job in any sport about promoting all-stars and superstars, and the MLB does the very worst job of doing that.
Yes.
That is something I think that LeBron can help.
Okay, so go on your Google machine and Google the NBA ratings and tell me about how good they are. And you're gonna lean on LeBron James to get Major League Baseball ratings better.
Yeah, but I'll say this: Google ratings, but Google the ones that LeBron's playing at, because those are higher than any average game. Absolutely, 100% true.
Well, yeah,
that is not
he's the face of the league,
statistic.
and he has been for 18 years.
Right. It goes with this garbage with the super teams. There's 4 markets in the United States right now that actually watch basketball. I would venture to guess that probably the biggest basketball market in the world right now is China, even for the NBA.
So why wouldn't so with saying that, and you're going to take the biggest market, who's the biggest following in China? LeBron. It probably goes LeBron, KD.
But baseball's been in China for a lot longer than the NBA.
But if you get those viewerships from China over into the U.S., it works, bud. It's just business, baby. It's just business.
They're not watching. I mean, it's not the same rating system. It's not a world rating system. It's in the country.
Right.
Like, you don't do Nielsen ratings for China.
Well, then, to Seidel's point, then those ratings don't carry over for the NBA.
No, but the popularity. That's why they came out with the jersey sales, right? Jersey sales can be global, but TV ratings are not, because what time is it in China when NBA's playing? Like 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that.
But there's still TV contracts for China.
Yes, but they're not the same as
right.
Like, they count, but they don't count the same as they do in America, right? The ratings don't count. They just don't.
Right. Not here.
We are up against the clock. I didn't even realize. Good conversation though. I like that. Good job,
Me and Billy Mack versus the world. Let's go.
That's why this is so fun. Like, people think we fight. This is a debate. Like, we're friends. We're all friends. This is a debate. Like, it's not about getting it right or wrong. It's about expressing your opinion. That's why this show is so fun. We don't fight. Like, in my opinion, doesn't have to be the same as any of yours. And Quinn, where the hell were you?
Getting food.
Setting up the camera and everything. Getting all that stuff ready to go.
What was that bag you had?
The bag of cords. I've got power strip and all sorts of cords in there.
Chipotle.
Nachos.
Couple dogs.
I don't see no food. It's Billy's bag. Like, oh yeah, I brought food in. He used my bag.
let's go to our what we end our show with each and every day. It's the G. Berbick Farms. What's your beef? What's your filet? Brought to you by our friends over at G. Berbick Farms at gberbickfarms.com and on New Buffalo Road in beautiful Columbiana, Ohio. Leading us off is Eric Bailey. Go ahead, EP.
I don't, man. I'm still caught up on the whole LeBron and all that stuff. So I don't know if I really have a beef or filet right now. I guess it's because I'm busy this weekend and it's kind of crappy outside. So I can't go buy anything from G. Berbick Farms and grill or smoke anything. So that's kind of where I'm at.
How about Paige doing a new word here? He pulled a Betos. It's a faleef. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. On to square number 2. Who wants to go first?
What's your belief?
Mine's a beef with all of you for fat shaming me. Just because I like food doesn't mean I always have it.
Quinn, you have food right now?
I do not.
In your car?
I do not.
What happened to those nachos you brought in?
That was Chipotle and I ate it.
Matt, go ahead.
I had some good ones earlier, but I actually forgot them. So what I'm going to do is it's a beef turned into a filet. Beef because I thought we were going to do, Quinn and I were going to do a pretty cool event tonight, late night, underneath the lights for the softball game with Western Reserve and Jackson Milton. But instead we came to my second favorite place, which is Canfield, Ohio, where we're going to watch Canfield take on Champion. So, well, YSN beef into a filet. So there you go. There you go.
All right, Matt, what do you have?
So I think, without stealing your thunder, I think ours is the same today, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and that's just the opportunity to go over to PNC Park, call a ball game over there. Yes, I see you, Billy. But, what an unbelievable opportunity, not only for us, but for these kids too. DJ and I were sitting here before the show. I was showing him pictures from when I got an opportunity when I was in high school to go over and play in old Three Rivers Stadium. It's something these kids are going to carry with them for the rest of their lives.
Yes, sir. And mine is along the same note. I got the news about 9:30 this morning, and all I could think about was the first season on YSN, the first football season where we were announcing games out of a pumpkin patch. So we've gone from a pumpkin patch to PNC Park, the most beautiful ballpark in all of America, and everybody knows that I'm a Pirates fan, so it's a little extra special for me. Usually I like to give these opportunities away when I can, and looking forward to sharing it with Matt, looking forward to sharing it with the Columbiana baseball team because they deserve it too. I mean, Ryan Wolf does an excellent job of getting his players in a position to have memories to last the rest of their lives. So I'm excited to bring this back at 7 o'clock tonight. Again, Ringgold and Columbiana live from PNC Park right here on your sports network. On behalf of all of us to all of you, I want to say, whoa, Canfield boys are gone. I want to say have a great weekend, be safe, and we will see you Monday, unless we'll see you later tonight on the network. 7 games to go on the network tonight. Richie's already done with his as YSU. I think they came up short on the diamond today. So looking forward to seeing you all out there and seeing you all next week right here on the YSN Power Hour. Again, sponsorships, go ahead and go to the coach, Matt Seidel. We'll see you guys.
His dream is coming true. He gets to be a Clipper.